£5,800. That's how much the average person watching this will quietly lose in state pension income, because nobody ever told them to check one thing on the HMRC website. There are 6 more mistakes like this on this list, and together they cost the average UK adult over £10,000 a year. Let's go through every single one. Right, so here's what we're doing today. 7 money mistakes that millions of UK adults are making right now in 2026. Not hypothetically, not someday this might affect you. We're talking specific pound amounts, exactly what's going wrong, and exactly how to fix it. Because the difference between your finances looking completely different in 5 years and staying exactly where they are usually comes down to a handful of small decisions that feel completely normal when you're making them. That's what makes them so dangerous. Let's get into it. Mistake number 1, and we're starting here because it's the fastest win on this list, is paying the wrong tax code and handing HMRC free money. 5.6 million Brits paid too much income tax due mainly to tax code mistakes, and HMRC overcharged those people £3.5 billion in the 2023-24 tax year alone. That's an average of £620 per person. Now here's the thing that really stings. HMRC won't always correct overcharging mistakes automatically. If you don't check your tax code or your PAYE calculation, you may never get your money back. The onus is on you to spot HMRC's errors. So how does this happen? For most people, the standard code for 2025/26 is 1257L. That 4-digit number is the single most important thing on your payslip, and almost nobody checks it. It means you get a personal allowance of £12,570 tax-free before income tax kicks in. If your payslip shows something like W1 or M1 next to your code, that's an emergency flag. It means HMRC is taxing you on a week-by-week or month-by-month basis rather than across the full year, and you're almost certainly overpaying. Common causes. HMRC might still assume you're receiving company benefits like a car or private healthcare you no longer have. Or they've made incorrect assumptions about rental income, dividends, or freelance work you stopped doing years ago. The fix takes about 2 minutes. Open the HMRC app, navigate to the PAYE section, and if you're owed money, you'll see a green Claim button showing the exact amount. Tap it, and your refund lands in your bank account within a week. You can claim back up to 4 years of overpaid tax once a wrong code is identified. Go check that now, or at least before this video ends. Mistake number 2 is letting your ISA allowance reset to 0 every April. The ISA allowance resets every April and does not roll over. Even if you can't max it out, contribute as much as you can afford. Here's the scale of the problem. Over a third of UK savers have a cash ISA, but average ISA savings are just £4,929. That's a long way from the £20,000 annual limit. And the cost of leaving money outside an ISA is growing fast. With the capital gains tax annual exemption now just £3,000 and the dividend allowance shrunk to £500, most people with investments outside ISAs will now pay tax. Inside an ISA, every penny of growth, every dividend, every gain, 0 tax for life. There's also an extra urgency specific to this tax year that most people haven't heard about yet. From 6th April 2027, confirmed at Autumn Budget 2025, the cash ISA allowance for under 65s drops from £20,000 to £12,000. The stocks and shares ISA limit stays at £20,000, but if you prefer cash savings, The 2026/27 tax year is the last year you can put the full £20,000 into a cash ISA before that window closes permanently. Anyone with available funds should consider maximizing their cash ISA contributions this year, because after April 5th next year, that option is gone. Mistake number 3 is leaving thousands sitting in a current account where inflation quietly eats it alive. With inflation running above 3%, £10,000 sitting in a 0% current account loses around £300 in real purchasing power every year. That's not a dramatic crash. It's a slow, silent erosion that never shows up as a notification on your phone. HMRC doesn't send you a letter about it. Your bank certainly won't flag it. Your money just buys slightly less every single year while doing absolutely nothing. And a third of people who leave money in current accounts say they do it purely out of habit. Not a plan, not a strategy, habit. Easy access savings accounts and cash ISAs are currently paying competitive rates, and even moving £10,000 from a current account earning nothing into a savings account earning 4% gives you £400 a year for doing absolutely nothing differently. That's your energy bills for 2 months, handed back to you for doing nothing. Now, here's where I want to pause, because there's something bigger coming at the end of this video, and it makes all 3 of these look like small change by comparison. Keep watching. Mistake number 4 is only contributing the minimum to your workplace pension and sleepwalking toward a retirement shortfall. Only 9% of UK workers are on track for a comfortable retirement. 9%. The Pensions Commission's 2026 interim report found that approximately 15 million people in the UK are not saving enough to retire adequately. About half of all workers contribute only the auto-enrollment minimum of 8% combined, 5% from you, 3% from your employer. And pension specialists consistently say that's not enough. Here's why the numbers get scary fast. The PLSA's comfortable retirement standard now requires £45,400 per year for a single person, up from £33,600 just 4 years ago. And the gap between what a minimum contributor will accumulate and what they actually need is enormous. We're potentially talking hundreds of thousands of pounds. But here's something even most pension-aware people miss. There are an estimated 2.8 million lost pension pots in the UK, worth a combined £31 billion. Old workplace pensions from previous jobs that people have simply forgotten about. If you've changed jobs more than once, there's a real chance one of yours is in that pile. You can find it for free right now. Search Pension Tracing Service on gov.uk. It takes 5 minutes and could uncover money that's been sitting there for years, waiting for you to claim it. And going from 5% contributions to 12% over 30 years doesn't just add a bit. It fundamentally changes what your retirement looks like. If you've never logged into your pension dashboard and looked at what you're projected to have, do it this week. The number might surprise you, and not in a good way. Mistake number 5 is paying for subscriptions nobody actually uses. There are 155 million active subscriptions in the UK right now. Close to 10 million of them are completely unwanted, costing consumers £1.6 billion a year. The average person is wasting around £400 annually on subscriptions they've forgotten about or stopped using. And most people genuinely have no idea. It's the streaming service from lockdown, the gym app opened twice, the cloud storage plan that auto-renewed when the free trial ended, all quietly draining your account every month. New rules are coming in spring 2027 that will force companies to send reminders before auto-renewals kick in. But until then, you're completely on your own. So here's what to do right now. Open your bank app, go to your recurring payments or direct debits section, and scroll through everything. Cancel anything you haven't used in the last 30 days. That's the zombie subscription audit, and it takes 10 minutes. Most people who do it find at least 2 or 3 things they'd completely forgotten about. That's potentially £30 to £40 a month back in your pocket, just from paying attention. Mistake number 6 is having no emergency fund and being one single setback away from debt. Nearly 1 in 4 UK employees have no emergency savings at all. 8.2 million people with nothing to fall back on. And financial stress affects people at every income level. Even among those earning more than £95,000 a year, 29% report experiencing financial stress. Having a high income is not the same as having financial security. One boiler breakdown, one redundancy letter, one unexpected car repair. The average large bill for an unexpected emergency is £10,996, and the average savings pot is just £3,553, leaving a gap of £7,440 that gets filled with credit cards and personal loans. Suddenly you're paying interest on top of a problem that already felt overwhelming. Most financial experts recommend holding 3 to 6 months of essential expenses in an emergency fund, approximately £6,000 to £12,000 for the average household. You don't need to build that overnight. Start with 1 month, then 2. The goal isn't perfection. It's making sure one bad day doesn't turn into a financial spiral that takes years to climb out of. If this video is hitting close to home, drop a comment below and let me know which mistake you're working on fixing. I read every single one. And there's a video right here that goes deep on building an emergency fund from scratch. Watch it after this one. And now the one I teased at the very start. Every mistake on this list so far has been about money you've already earned, already spent, already lost. This last one is different. This one is about money that hasn't arrived yet, and may never arrive if you don't act. Mistake number 7. Ignoring national insurance gaps that could cost you £5,800 in lost state pension income. To receive the full new state pension, currently £11,502 per year in 2026/27, you need 35 qualifying years of national insurance contributions. Gaps are far more common than most people realize. Career breaks, time spent self-employed without making voluntary contributions, living abroad, periods of low earnings, all of these leave holes in your NI record that most people don't discover until it's too late to do much about it. Each missing qualifying year reduces your state pension by around £328 annually for the rest of your life. With average life expectancy pushing well beyond 85, even 2 missing years means over £5,800 in lost income across retirement. That's a significant amount of money to leave on the table, especially when the fix is remarkably straightforward. Voluntary Class 3 national insurance contributions currently cost £824 per missing year. At £328 in additional pension income per year, you break even in under 3 years of retirement, and every year after that is pure profit. You can check your NI record right now through your personal tax account on gov.uk. 5 minutes. It shows you exactly which years are complete, which have gaps, and which years you can still fill. Every other mistake on this list costs you money you've already earned. This one costs you money you haven't received yet. Income that should be coming to you in retirement, for decades, that quietly disappears because nobody told you to check. That's the one that should stay with you after this video ends. 7 mistakes, most of them free to fix. The people who actually check the NI record, the tax code, the pension dashboard, end up somewhere completely different in 10 years. The people watching this video to the end are already in that group. Subscribe if you want to stay there.